think so?
Zen state achieved. Played 9 holes. Played pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Relaxed a little bit.
Decompressed.
Enjoyed the weather.
The whole 9, really.
You talking about the whole 9 yards or the whole 9 holes?
The whole 9 holes.
Copy.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Because the whole 9 yards was not peaceful. Today was stressful.
Yeah, to say the least.
Yeah.
For sure.
But we got through it. You got a long weekend.
Longer.
Not sure what I got going on this weekend. Actually, I think we're going to see the in-laws Friday.
Okay.
For a bonfire.
It won't be bad.
So that, well, you know, that should be fun. No, it'll be fine.
So, I mean, I don't know, man. I think there's just something about a bonfire to me that just screams, say how you feel.
Yeah, I get it. On that note, I'll call it out for everybody wondering. There are absolutely people in the field behind us shooting. So, just, you know, go with it. It's fine. I'm assuming the mic is picking it up. Uh-huh.
Yep, just like that. Mic check.
Jesus, he didn't even turn away.
I tried.
He leaned about an inch and a half to the right.
I did.
And just let it rip.
It happened.
Could turn around.
That's a
easily.
Lot. That's a lot.
You could rotate your fucking torso.
I did. I rotated enough to where I just wanted to get a nice mic check with a sneeze, man. That's all I wanted. Okay. And with that being
Checking
said,
the peaks.
Yeah. I keep saying with that being said, God damn it.
I know. It's like you're trying to wrap it up. Like, dude, we're just getting started, homie.
I was trying to just tell him that this was episode 7.
I mean, yeah. Guys, he doesn't quite understand the concept of a cold open yet.
Oh, man.
But we're getting there.
Working on it.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
So on that note, welcome to episode 7 of Shyf.
Out of here.
It's where we say how you feel while sitting on the porch, as long as it's not too nasty outside. So here in a couple months, we'll probably be inside. But I think we'll be okay. We got that spare room upstairs. Can just soundproof it a little bit.
Make it shake.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
Get some nice reverb. Got all hardwood floors.
Absolutely.
So
this has all been au naturel on our end.
Yeah.
Very natural.
I'm pretty sure they noticed from the episode where we had to go into the living room.
Yes. Yes. That was awesome.
You
Y'all had
hear
to be here.
Every little noise. Anytime the dog just slid its paw, you could hear it on the floor. Echoes. But it's okay.
A clickety clang, a
You
clickety
just
clang.
Missed out on the diesels and tractors and four-wheelers and stuff we hear out here.
But I feel like...
Man, why you get so close? God.
Sometimes...
Can you give me a headphone warning?
A headphone warning?
Yeah, like just 1 minute you're sitting here and then BAM! Sorry, guys. I just had to demonstrate.
Be ready. Be ready.
Wow.
It's called reflexes. Ear reflexes. Practice those muscles.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Practice your ear reflexes.
What does that have to do with you getting closer to the mic?
It's a mic check.
You do that at the beginning, and once it's done, it's done.
Got to do it in the middle, too.
I mean,
in the beginning of the middle. Or early.
You don't have to.
Don't have to.
I'm sure people appreciate you not.
Well,
although I just literally topped it out.
There might be people that appreciate me doing a beginning mic check. Or middle, or whatever you want to call it. Whatever it is.
Doubtful.
Taking a poll, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
We're taking a poll. How
so
many of you...
we need all 3 of you and Carl.
Carol.
To tell us what you think about Isaiah's real inconsistency with the mic.
I do it on purpose.
No, you don't.
That was very plosive.
You forget that we're recording off a central mic and you get closer to it. Just
Just be
Because
ready.
You're very
Ear
animated.
Ear reflexes. Have your ear reflexes. 2 words of the day. Ear reflexes.
Oh.
Have them.
It's gonna be a long one,
Hey, Brian's beard looks really good today.
which is funny because I haven't done anything to it.
See, that's that. Back to that old natural. Back to that old natural.
That's getting warm.
Is it that
Yeah.
Michelob Ultra?
A little bit.
It's been out of the cooler outside for a little bit.
It has.
It's been festering.
We got that at the golf course, transported it home, put it in the fridge for about 15 minutes while we ate a bomb-ass dinner that my wife cooked.
Phenomenal.
And then I pulled it out, and it was cool at best. It is now lukewarm. Not as crisp. Warm. It is confirmed.
Just like yeast.
Yeah, somebody was on to something when they decided to serve beer cold. So I'd like to give shout out to that guy or girl.
Them.
We doing that? I thought we were trying to be careful of lines, sir.
We're getting there. You know.
Because we can go.
I don't
It's
even.
all good.
Nah, it's not time.
It's not even worth it.
Not even. We're not going there.
Nah.
No.
So,
go ahead.
go
I'm sorry.
ahead.
No. You're
Nope.
good. No.
Go ahead.
Miscellaneous.
I had nothing to say.
You had nothing to say at all?
Nope.
Are you serious?
No, I was just
Really?
trying to keep the flow.
Fair enough.
And I was going to freestyle speech.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, like, spoken word poem, but off the top.
Dude, we could go off to the top of the dome here.
I mean, we could. But what were you going to say?
So,
I could tell yours was thought out.
well, it was more, it's in correlation to this. So, just music in general.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just in rhythm and sense. So, what have you been listening to? Do you have new albums that you've been listening to lately, or some things that you've gone back on and you've listened to? Because I hear a lot of what you're playing, back on your stereo at work.
Yeah.
But is there something that you're listening to more on your way home, or what have you been listening to lately?
So, I mean, naturally, I've gotten more into podcasts. But music-wise, so at work, I've been trying to play early 2000s to early to mid 2010, like rock music,
Mm-hmm.
because even Chandler gets into that because he knows them from school and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, Bailey's not big into hip-hop or rap or anything. Like, kind of like how I am with country. Just doesn't have any desire to listen to it. So, I'm trying to play more, I don't know, more catch-all music.
Sure.
Which is why I've kind of gone back to what we were listening to when we were younger. Even Mason, being younger than us, knows a lot of those songs because they were so big and stuff. So I'm referring to like Seether and, like 3 Days Grace, the big ones, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But personally, I mean, I've really been digging Sleep Token still.
Mm-hmm.
I've had that album playing pretty consistently since it released. I'm trying to think if there's anything different I've really been listening to. Not really, man. I mean, I went back to Our Last Night a bit, listening to like some of their covers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Their older covers, and then like Running Up That Hill.
Yeah, I've heard that
the
a few
Kate
times.
Bush cover and stuff.
I love that.
Oh, it's so good. But like stuff like that. But I haven't really been listening to a whole lot of new outside of Falling in Reverse and Bring Me the Horizon's newest one. But I kind of do that sometimes. I like to save up new stuff.
Yeah.
And just kind of binge listen to new albums from artists and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, that's about it.
I dig that.
Yeah.
I like that. and I haven't really been listening so much as I've been thinking, but I've been thinking about City of Evil, Avenged Sevenfold, a lot of the older Disturbed.
Yeah.
Back when I was playing Tony Hawk and Liberate, that was on one of the newer Tony Hawks, but
Yep.
even Papa Roach, I was listening to back when they were playing Blood Brothers on the very first Tony Hawk, and that's when I first got into Papa Roach and started listening to him ever since, and that grew into Mudvayne. So all of these songs, or not songs, but bands, artists, have been in my head. Haven't played them yet,
Right.
but lately I've been listening to some newer stuff. I was listening to Nas's new album Black Magic, and I was listening to Travis Scott's Utopia. I have this odd. I don't want to say odd because I don't want it to seem like he is odd, but I like Travis Scott because I do enjoy the artistry of what he's doing, and it's not so much that he's an innovator in the space of he invented it. It's just more about what he did and he ran with it, and I enjoy him in that regard. But I also love going back to my Hoves and my Kanyes and
Yeah.
even some of the older Kanye back in Graduation. We're talking about in Through the Wire and Touch the Sky with Lupe Fiasco and All Falls Down. Just that space. Kid Cudi's Man on the Moon. Really appreciate Man on the Moon for sure. And then jump right over and listen to Scars by Papa Roach. I don't know
Right.
why. It's like,
Or Between Angels and Insects.
oh my gosh, dude. That's such
That
an incredible
riff,
song. Yes.
It's so good.
Loved that.
Yep.
And it was the first thing that you heard and you just knew, and it just put you in that mood right then and there. You knew what it was.
Yep.
Absolutely.
It's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's why I've been playing what I've been playing at the shop.
Nice.
Not any other reasons really.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yo, so I definitely want to shout out Trisha because we said that we had a bomb ass dinner, but shout out to Trisha for making that bomb ass dinner. And what was it? It was like a Mississippi chicken.
Mississippi chicken with mashed potatoes and green beans. And the chicken, I don't know. I mean, she's told me the ingredients, but I don't remember all of them. But it's like an au jus base with like caramelized onion, pepperoncinos, and there were a couple other things. But
There's some onion in there, some white onion.
I said that.
Yes.
Caramelized onion.
I'm sorry.
Homie.
Emphasis.
You ain't even hit it that hard.
I'm sorry.
Come on, man.
Sometimes I just want to put emphasis on
How
the
you gonna
onions.
interrupt me and be wrong? That's crazy. Wow. Remember I said you worry me sometimes with the shit you say?
Or do.
Yeah. These
Yeah.
are those times
Don't worry.
when I'm sitting there like, why would he have said that?
Because I love onions.
Oh, man.
I love
Anyways,
onions. Go
it was a
ahead.
great dinner, and we ate every drop of everything. There was nothing left.
At all.
She was excited because cleanup was going to be minimal, but it was very, very good. And she goes back to work next week, so we're gonna kind of be on our own for food. So frozen pizzas,
TV dinners.
maybe ordered pizza,
Yep.
like so it comes already cooked.
Don't have to worry about any of that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep. On the
Maybe a stromboli.
porch. Some submarines.
What other pizzas are there? Pizza rolls,
Garlic knots.
pizza bagels,
Ooh, pizza
or
bagels.
bagel bites,
Ooh,
if
yes.
you will.
Oh my gosh. Hot Pockets.
Oh man, listen, so much
Come on
pizza.
The list goes on, y'all.
I know,
We're getting spoiled right
but
now.
I know she spoiled us though on our last one. This was the last one, and she spoiled us for sure.
Yes, for
It
sure.
was delicious.
Shout out. Man. I tell y'all, I wish y'all were out on this freaking porch. Really do. I really, really
peaceful.
do. Looking at some birds right now, just all fly around. You just see life, and everything is just, they're gathered. It's cohesive. It's just this freedom of no worries and even the cars that drive by.
Yeah. Like, there's something about having somebody shooting a gun a couple football fields away from you and not worrying about it.
At all.
And
At all.
that's just a country thing.
Mhm.
Like, that's not any specific statement about anything aside from living in a city.
Mm-hmm.
If you hear gunshots in a city, something's going on.
Right.
You hear gunshots in the country, I'm just like, I wonder how they're shooting today.
Yeah.
You know?
They got some area.
Right. It's just, I don't know. It's a different way of life sometimes.
It is. I love going to my grandparents in Mississippi because it's like that.
Yeah.
You can go back there and set up whatever you want and shoot. Nobody thinks anything about it. And then maybe a few hours later, somebody's doing the same thing. And
Right.
They're not near your place. You just hear them off at a distance, and
Yeah.
well, I don't think he hit that. But it's dope out here in the country, y'all. And whatever way you choose to live is the way that you choose to live. But just trying to paint a picture for y'all that are wondering what the porch is for us and what it's like being out here on the porch and what we see while we're sitting on the porch. That's the picture that we're painting for you.
It's our safe space, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
We feel at peace, feel comfortable. Everybody's got their own. It's just important that you see it and you utilize it.
Absolutely.
Doesn't matter if you're a city dweller. You know, I have friends that I don't think they would even want to stay weekends out in places like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they have their places too. So it's just all about recognizing what it is and making sure you take advantage of it.
Most definitely.
Getting a little deep.
I think that
Deep on the most surface level. Oh, yeah.
Think about it.
That's like it works 50% of the time, it works 100% of the time. That's one of those statements.
Oh, wow. Wow.
You've heard that before.
I have.
Okay, I was going to say, I didn't make that up.
Definitely have. And you still look at him and you think, wow. Whew. Okay.
Man, he's got something like that in his repertoire.
Yeah.
This man has seen Anchorman.
He's seen it all.
He's lived life.
Anchorman is a funny movie.
That's good.
Anchorman.
Brick, where'd you get a grenade? I don't know. Yeah. So what else you got going on, dude?
Moving. Still getting that sorted out.
Yeah.
I got the album coming out tomorrow, but there are some holds going on. I won't go into details, but the album may be delayed. Go figure, story of my life. But
Weird. I know something else that has that happen a lot.
yes, that's why I said story of my life.
Our keen-eared listeners will pick up on that joke.
Yes.
Talking to you, Carl.
Carol.
He's not even heard the last one yet.
No. Now he's getting 2 shout-outs.
I know.
2 episodes of shout-outs.
Listen, man, we're punching him while he's down, for sure.
Yeah. Can't wait for him to hear it, though.
For sure.
Super excited for all
I
of
am,
it.
too. And I genuinely, I hope he decides he wants to come and be on it. I think it'd be fun.
It would be.
Get all 3 of us out here, joking, having a good time.
Most definitely.
We got to take it easy on him, though.
Well,
I can be pretty cutthroat sometimes. You gotta
start minimal.
Yeah, you
start
gotta
at the
like
beginning.
interject on me.
I can do that.
Okay.
I normally do.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but you usually say something stupid, so then I just turn it to you.
Or I just cut a different cheese. Same grade or different cheese.
My point.
There it is, folks.
It's just too easy right now. But
It's a
that's
great
my
cheese.
point.
It's a great cheese.
Right.
It's easy. Well, duh. Of course. It's cheese. Room temperature. Grate that shit.
You don't grate cheese at room temperature.
It's easier to cut.
Not soft cheese.
It is harder to cut.
Soft cheese fucking smears. It's either got to be cold or I forget what the other way you do it. It might just be cold. But like to grate it, it just like smears in the grater if it's room temp.
I'm not even going to Google it. You're probably right.
I mean, yeah. I've tried to stretch some cheese.
I guess I've done it both ways.
Yeah, you have. That wasn't supposed to be a slow burn, but it kind of worked out that way.
Just wait. It's just wait a minute.
Hmm.
Just wait a minute.
Okay. Waiting.
I was waiting for that car to go by.
They were cruising too slow. It's too much dead space.
Dude, it would be dope if you could grow an apple tree out here.
A what?
An apple tree.
I mean, you can. They've got two right over there.
Where?
Why, right over here.
They have apple trees over there?
Yeah. They're like, I don't know, maybe 5 feet short of those, but next year they should produce. Why wouldn't you be able to grow an apple tree?
I'm not saying why wouldn't you. I'm
You said
saying
it'd be
should.
dope if you could.
It'd
Like
be dope.
like I couldn't grow one.
No, that's not what I meant. But you literally don't have an apple tree right here.
Right.
So therefore, you couldn't grow an apple tree. Like you're not growing an apple tree. Not because you're gonna catch me on that. But you can see an apple tree, but it's not in your yard per se. That's all I'm going with right there.
Right. And I get that, but the phrasing felt wrong. It's like it'd be dope if you could grow an apple tree here. Like, I mean, I could.
We'll grow
Right?
one.
That would be my initial response when it was. What I would have expected you to say to get the response you wanted was, hey, bro,
Yeah.
have you thought about planting an apple tree? Or why don't you grow an apple tree?
Well, I still
Not like it'd be dope if you could. Like it'd be dope if you could give me $100,000,
I get that, but I still
You
got
feel me?
I still got a response out of you though.
but not the right one.
And it's not the right. No, it's not about being right or wrong, but it's about the response. Overlooking that whole
What
thing.
the fuck are you talking about?
It's about the response. I still got a response. It's not if it was the right or wrong one. A response is a response.
Getting a response is easy. Getting an intelligible response that you want to hear is what separates us from animals.
It's
Isaiah.
not. It's not about. It's not about.
I
that.
need you to
It's-
step
it's
up your
about
linguistics game.
It's about you finding that common denominator of knowing what I was saying. And sometimes I can be direct.
The common denominator I found
Yes.
was that you still say a lot of dumb stuff
That's
to
not
me.
that. It's just a response. Yo, holler if you hear me. Y'all, holler if you hear me.
I don't think anybody's hollering.
I'm sure they are. Absolutely. I'm not saying some crazy shit. Now you guys are in episode 7. You're like, you know what? That boy Izzy be saying some shit. Really be saying some shit, man. Just take it.
Sometimes.
I'm not saying all the time,
Right.
but it's still at times. Oh boy, go ahead.
What are you talking about? Oh my
Bam!
gosh.
I got him again, y'all. I got him again. Yo, holler if you hear me. I'm telling you.
I'd be lying if I said I comprehended half of what you said.
You don't have to.
No. I mean,
You did?
no, like I didn't hear you.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, bro. I got an important text and I was reading it,
Oh my god.
and
Wow.
I
you got
heard-
the thing, bro.
I heard your voice, but I did not comprehend the words.
So is
Let me cut real quick.
cut.
Yeah, cut us out. All right, sorry, we're back, y'all. That was my bad. Changing topics a little bit because we kind of lost our spot. While I was responding to that text, Isaiah was talking a little bit about the Drake and Pusha T
Yeah.
beef,
Yeah.
and was giving his thoughts a little bit. So why don't you recap the people, and then I'll give my thoughts, and we'll jump back into it.
So I've been looking at this for a while and just where everything came from, and it's interesting because you then start thinking about other beefs. You think about Nas, you think about Jay-Z. I really started doing hip hop homework, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
and really studying what this beef meant and how it all started and how it stemmed, and just someone really came at it and just said, "Nah, dog, this is what it is." And I don't care what you think, and how you respond is, it's not even on me anymore. It's about what the people think.
Right.
So that whole, in this generation now, we're looking at this Drake and Pusha T beef, and a few others, but mainly for me, in the sense of you've got you've got a dog who's been in the industry for over a decade.
Homie,
What?
you about to do that right now?
100%.
Cause that's
I would. I
wow.
would.
So just so you all know, we started talking about this before the cut, and Isaiah wasn't saying nothing about how long they've been in the game or their career lengths, anything like that. That's what my main focal point of my view was, and this man's about to just like try to take that from me.
Oh man. Well, no, go.
No, go
Expand on
ahead.
it. No, expand on it.
Well, so
Expand on
my
it.
response to it is that I just genuinely haven't followed it much. I personally don't think that Pusha T is very relevant anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying he's a bad rapper or anything like that, but uh, I mean, he's just not who he used to be, right, in the space. And then Drake, I mean, genuinely, he's realistically probably on his way out.
In
Maybe
another
another 5-10 years tops.
5-10 years.
That's what I'm thinking. And if you think about how long he's been doing it, that's the last percentages of his career. You know what I mean?
Unless he becomes a hove, which I don't think that's impossible.
I don't
Or
think it's
yay.
impossible, but I don't think he's going to.
Not Tribe Called Quest, but the Roots, Questlove.
Yeah, but like Questlove is only relevant to people who know who that is.
But he has such a following to even with Hove and even with Yeezy, I still feel that it's going to be that way for Drake. But I also understand what relevance means,
Right.
Because it's what's in front of your face.
Right, we're talking
Yeah.
mainstream.
So I understand
They're
that. I do
transitioning from
understand
that point where, like, Pusha T, I mean, he's done a few mainstream songs and been
What
features
happens
and
to
stuff.
that boy?
Right. But, like, when people hear him on a song, like, oh, shit, I didn't even know he was still doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like that's the point where you're no longer relevant.
That space.
Right.
But it's
And
not about being relevant at that
Drake
point.
is trying, or not trying, but I feel like he's starting to transition to that where, yeah, he absolutely has his loyal fans, and I'm not saying he's lost any talent or anything like that, but, I mean, the music industry is a new artist's game.
But I
right?
also feel like too, to interject off of that, I feel that the releases now aren't as prevalent
Mm-hmm.
in the sense of they're not publicized. Because you have many Drake features, just like you have many other artist features, or you have these transitions of even covers and whatever it may be. But I feel that when I listen to Drake, I'm not just listening to Views or Take Care or the Deluxe or,
Right.
if you're reading this, it's too late, or all of those albums where back then Drake or other artists people were anticipating albums, or they were anticipating the singles, or they were anticipating the mixtapes.
But that's
There was
what I'm
a certain
saying.
regiment algorithm.
Yeah.
So who's to say that he's not relevant in that space? Other than
In
just
the
saying
mainstream space,
but
he's no
what's-
longer relevant.
But what's mainstream now, though?
What's popular?
Right.
What is publicized, what people are waiting for.
But what
Right?
if,
And there
okay.
are fans, there's dedicated
You made my
fans. I'm
point.
not taking that from you.
No,
But
but you
like-
made my point though.
I don't. No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
You made my point
No.
by saying that he's no longer like announcing singles and pushing big marketing campaigns and doing the highest view count features and songs
If
and
those
stuff
things
to make it.
If that's relevant though.
In mainstream, yeah.
It is, but
Mainstream
it
is like
isn't.
what's the most popular.
You're right, but what is mainstream? Mainstream is only what we know. It's what we hear. It's what we're exposed to. But mainstream for us,
That's not
isn't.
true.
What do you
Because
mean?
there are people who listen to underground rappers every day, but they're not mainstream.
No, you're right, but they're
Right.
not. But
So
they're,
we hear it, we know about
but
it.
they're not mainstream. That's not what we're talking about.
Right.
though.
That's exactly what we're talking about. We're talking about people who either used to be or are on the tail end of being mainstream.
I think Drake is more mainstream, and not just our area, but it's also in this area, in this area, in this area, continents, countries.
I didn't say he wasn't. I said Pusha T is not.
Oh no, you're
Drake
right.
is on his way out. In the next 5 to 10 years, he will no longer be mainstream.
And I guess I was more. I understand that. So I guess what I'm saying, because we got sidetracked, or I did, Because I was talking about Hove and I was talking about Ye and how
Right.
he can
You're-
be relevant in all
Right,
realms.
and you're talking about
No
they
matter if it's here or
outgrew the
not.
music.
It became
Hove,
something completely.
Hove is not relevant now because of his music.
Mm-hmm.
He's relevant now because of the other stuff he's doing.
But still relevant.
Right.
Yeah.
In terms of an artist is what I'm talking about.
Sure.
You're trying to broaden it too much, and I'm literally talking about one rapper who realistically most people who have heard his music nowadays would be like, I didn't know he was still recording.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're about 5 to 10 years out from that being Drake, which is why that beef, it just feels weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Drake has nothing to gain or defend against from Pusha T because he's bigger. I would say he's bigger than Pusha T ever got,
Mm-hmm.
just in mainstream terms,
For sure.
right? And Pusha T, I mean, even if it was a career move, like it's an artist who's on his way out, and that's not me saying it's his music's degrading or anything like that. But even you said it, he's not pushing promotions as much.
No pun
He'll
intended.
just pop up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So is Kendrick?
He's not pushing that anymore. He's by choice starting to kind of lay low and be a foundational character instead of I'm the guy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a negative. It's just the beef doesn't make a lot of sense, and why I don't know. It's just one of those like, why are you guys fighting? Like, just get the fuck over it.
Or what is it even about?
Right.
Yeah.
But like I took way more interest in the Eminem MGK beef, only because Eminem, while again I think he is close to the end, I would say it'd be within a decade realistically, and I think he'll just walk away.
And that speaks volumes, first of all, because another decade for Eminem, y'all. I mean, and we think about it. How long has Eminem been in our lives?
Right.
Another decade.
Right. Pretty
of
much
Eminem.
our whole lives.
Yeah, our entire. You know.
Right. And even up to his most recent album, like he can still do what he used to do if he
Mhm.
wants.
Oh, for sure.
And that's the difference. But like with MGK, new artist, obviously he's picking a fight with the big dogs that pulls him into the spotlight, yada yada yada. But Eminem still gives you that hope that he's capable of retro Eminem or just just laying it down like he does. Because
Right.
sometimes he doesn't do that for a while and you're
Right.
just like, where's he at?
Mhm.
I just want to hear him go off.
Yeah.
And he did. With Drake and the Pusha T thing, I wasn't like, oh bro, I hope Pusha lays something fire down
Mhm.
or it's the next big thing or yeah, it's just but that's again just as somebody who's not super invested in being a big fan of either. I like both, but I couldn't tell you more than a couple album names of
Sure.
each.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's not that I don't like them, but I just was never really that invested in either of them as a fan. So that plays into it too. But I don't know. They just, again, as an outside fan, I don't hear about Drake as much as I used to 5 years ago.
Sure.
And that's how I know he's falling out of the mainstream, whether it's by choice or happenstance.
But if you're not looking for it, then
I wasn't looking for it before. That's what I'm talking about. Mainstream is where you hear about it and you know them without ever looking or listening to them. I
But you
know
don't-
so much about Hardy,
Mhm.
that fucking country rock dude, and I've never searched for him, but I know more names of his songs than I know off the new Bring Me the Horizon album.
But I still feel like that comes with a territory because there's some relevance to that in your world of even though you've never heard, but it's still, and I don't want to say it's like, but there is a string, there is an attachment that
Right.
goes into that.
No, you're 100% correct. I don't get why you think that's opposite of what I'm saying. That's
Don't-
exactly what
don't
I'm
hit
saying.
the chair,
I know,
man.
I punched the shit out
It's
that.
so
That
sensitive.
hurt my knuckle. I didn't realize I was that close.
Oh my god.
My bad, guys. No, you're literally saying what I'm saying, though. Because they hold some relevance in mainstream, people know them. Even if
Right.
they don't listen to that music or don't care about them. I've never listened to Taylor Swift, but I have heard nothing
I love
but
Taylor
shit
Swift.
about her for the past 15 years.
It never stops.
And I literally have never put on a Taylor Swift song. Not one time.
But, you
But
still
I
hear
know,
about it.
right, because she's relevant and mainstream.
But I still feel
Drake,
like that's like
I
that
don't
with
hear
Drake.
that anymore.
I think it is.
I didn't know that he did a feature with Travis Scott. I had no idea.
It just came
I didn't
out.
even know Travis Scott released a new album.
Well, yeah, but again, that goes back to all of that.
But right. But what I'm saying is they're no longer as relevant in the mainstream. They're
But
not
what-
pushed. People aren't talking all the time, so that even people who don't listen are hearing about
But they
it.
are though.
They're not.
They are.
How?
What do you mean how?
Isaiah, you literally just said it. Like, I don't get how you confuse yourself. It's, oh, it hurts my brain so much. You were saying before they were so relevant in that space, and there was a string that was attached
Yeah.
because everybody talked about them. Even if you didn't listen to it, you'd still hear about it. I'm telling you, I haven't heard Drake much at all lately. I had no idea Travis Scott released a new album, and I listen to rap music.
That's
My YouTube playlist is a huge mix. You know that. How many new rap artists have I showed you?
a lot.
Right.
Based
so
off of
how
what,
somebody who
though?
listens into so much of that music have I not heard it? Because they're not as relevant in the mainstream. They still have huge fan bases, no doubt, but they're not pushed by all these different record companies and stations and platforms because they're not the biggest names anymore. That the next generation is starting to move in. Drake is on his way out of the mainstream. He may still be as prolific as ever in 10 years, but it'll be low key.
Sure.
Straight up. It's almost like you go from being in the spotlight
I get
to
that.
almost being an underground artist.
Yeah.
But with a huge, strong fan base.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I'm saying. I had no idea. And how much music do I listen to?
A plethora.
Right.
Yeah.
So if I didn't hear about it and I listened to everything, how mainstream do you think they actually are anymore? Not as popular, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to go ahead and ponder on that one for a second.
I still don't think he gets it, y'all.
I do though.
I really don't.
I do though.
He just gave me that look, like he gave me that look. It had a cocky twist of the head, like, do you get how I'm right yet? Like, oh my god. Anyways, this is why we need Carl. Okay, Carl is as nutty as us, but
Yeah.
he usually thinks rationally.
He could put this together.
Right.
You think so? You think he put it
He
together?
can put the two puzzle pieces together to make one small pixel of an image. So that something of what we say makes some semblance of sense.
So it'd be like, "What do you say, Carl?" And it'd be like, "Well."
That could be a segment. Well, what do you say, Carl?
And he just.
I like how we're just writing him in as a co-host,
Dude,
and
you
he's
have
not
your
even.
whole script right now.
He's not even come on yet.
He's here now.
I mean, he's not though.
Here we go. Physically, mentally, spiritually,
He's not.
energetically.
I don't think any of those.
Yes, he is
I can't
because
say
we're talking
either.
about him. Boom.
That's us.
Oh,
I
we're
don't
talking
think he's
to
at home
because
thinking
boom.
about us.
What do you mean?
You didn't even upload the podcast, bro.
It has-
He's not at home listening.
I don't want to say it has nothing to do with that, but because we're talking about him, his energy is within us because we're thinking about him.
No.
Boom.
No.
Yo, I'm coming
That's
for that ass.
That's a personal belief, sir. We need to keep this unbiased.
Energy.
Okay.
Okay.
So, gun to your head segment.
Fuck, I dug it.
You did what? You
I
ducked
dug- I
it? You
ducked
said
it.
dugged. I don't think that's how this works.
Oh.
As far as I know.
I tried to.
I'm
duck
pretty
it.
sure we make the rules, though. Yeah.
So I tried to.
Nah, I'm calling no ducking.
It's our rules.
Right, but I'm calling this one.
So I said I tried to duck it.
Right, and that's why I said there's no ducking.
Oh, so you followed off of that? That
Correct.
was like your piggyback?
That was me making my rule.
Your
You know how
rule.
we'll each get like a rule, and then we'll decide together on the
I
rest.
haven't gotten a rule yet.
That's not my fucking
I
problem.
tried to duck it.
Okay,
What's
and
your-
I said my rule is no ducking. I know I fucked it up. I said you. Oh no!
What is your gun, man? I just got shot.
I forgot it. I got it. All right, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, so my gun to your head. If you had to choose one artist that could continue to record prime music for the rest of your life, who would it be? Prime music being like when they were at their peak. So it can be somebody that's long gone. But one artist, prime music for the rest of your life. Everybody else still comes and goes, except for them. Who is it?
Wow. Dude, that's a really tough one.
Thank you.
There's so many artists that I respect and enjoy and want to listen to for as long as a life exists.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking about an artist that's really empowering to me. And no disrespect, when I do make this decision.
No, it's okay. I've not been an artist long. I won't be offended.
Sure.
It's okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I won't take.
I don't want you to take it the wrong way.
I won't.
Like, you're an incredible artist.
It's okay. Go ahead.
But we're still growing together.
Spill it.
So, I would have to go with J. Cole.
Okay.
I would go with J. Cole.
I don't hate that answer.
And it was between him and Kendrick Lamar, if you must know, who was my second.
I didn't ask.
Well, secondly, J. Cole is a collective of all of the artists that I've heard, whether it be from a rock standpoint, whether it be from whatever standpoint. It's just the way that he expresses himself and how just his whole creative process and watching him.
Yeah.
I love all of that. And it reminds me of back when I was watching the video with Collision Course of Linkin Park and Jay-Z. And how that whole thing came into play. And I bought the deluxe album.
Paper cut.
Yeah.
Oh.
Man, Paper Cut.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it was the damn near the whole hybrid theory.
Yeah, it was good.
It went wild. And the Meteora, too.
The what?
Meteora. Line from you.
Meteora.
Meteora.
I like it.
Hmm.
I like it.
I'll take that.
I would.
Yeah, what about you?
So, it's a tough one because obviously there are rappers that I really enjoy listening to, but still, my soul is like a bluesy rock, right?
Okay.
That's always my number one.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to say Hendrix because what he did and the amount of time that he was doing it was revolutionary. And still to this day, just classic stuff that like I can just listen to.
Yeah.
And
I'm not mad at that at all.
right. And
That's
I
smooth.
can only imagine that it would have gotten better, or at least there would have been even more variety to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'd have to go with Hendrix. A second for me might surprise you. I would say Eric Clapton. Because his stuff, man, I mean, he puts so much passion into a lot of his stuff, and I like passion in music.
For sure.
Yeah,
I'm about to
again,
give him a
it's
listen.
like my therapy. So
Yeah.
I pour my soul into listening to music a lot of times. So Eric Clapton's always been big for me, inspirational and stuff like that. And I mean, he's just a great musician too.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very talented and technical. So that'd be my second.
Okay. I was definitely surprised by that second answer for sure.
I figured you would be.
But I've heard you talk about Eric Clapton, and you make him in some of your fucking funny little jokes.
Yeah. Yep.
And I always wondered.
Oh, I mean, you gotta go back and listen to some of his stuff, man.
Yeah, I will.
It's one of those that if you're not like a huge fan of the genre, or you stick more to the alternative or heavy rock side of things, you may not have had much introduction to him. But even like Derek and the Dominoes, when he was with them, Layla, Cocaine, stuff like that. But I mean, he just got a lot, dude. You just got to listen to some of his stuff, and you'll see it. You'll see the bluesiness. You'll see the swing in some of it. You'll see rock in some of it. Cocaine. That's a great song, and it's got a nice.
Cocaine.
Yep. But if you listen to like the music behind it and stuff, like you could easily make that a little heavier, and it'd be a heavy song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But he just chose to do it like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's
Okay. I dig it.
You need to listen to him some, I think.
Yeah, most definitely.
Probably haven't given him as much time as you should.
Okay.
Genuinely.
No, most definitely.
Yeah.
Well, now
John
that
Mayer's another one you need to
dude, John
get
Mayer.
into.
I fuck with John Mayer.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like his inspiration, isn't it? John Mayer's?
I mean, maybe.
I want to say replica, but I think in like his new way.
I would say John Mayer is... I mean, he was revolutionary for sure in his own right, but he's also a phenomenal guitar player. Like, just very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, better than a lot of people realize. Like his song Neon. Oh, God. Dude, that thing is so complex.
Okay.
Maybe we'll listen to it after this podcast and you can hear it. But, I mean, even him. Like, there's a lot of artists like that, again... He was mainstream for a very specific amount of time and to a very specific demographic.
Mm-hmm.
I did not like him when he was popular. I was also a little bit young, I think, for his music at that time, but there was just no part of me was interested.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I've gotten older and learned more about music and roots and stuff like that, and where kind of all music started originating from and how all these different genres started, I've really started to appreciate other types of music, and that's when I started to appreciate people like John Mayer and Eric Clapton and those types of guys. Even Hendrix, I would say, when I was younger, I slept on.
Most definitely, and I think that kind of jumps onto artists that I can't really explain per se, that aren't that mainstream, but I guess more relevant for me in that space, like Foster the People.
Yep.
Is a big one. And
Foster
I'm
the
just
People's good.
looking through some of this stuff right here. I mean,
getting close to the mic.
Yeah, you got Rodney, you got Sleep Tokens in here, Bring Me the Horizon, Wild Nothing. I've even been listening to some Espanol, listening to Grupo Frontera and Bad Bunny. Fleetwood is pretty dope. Paperboy Fab, Clara Leson, Vicky Vox. I mean, there's just I'm looking through this because it's like an eclectic, I feel like.
Yeah.
I mean, even Cannons is in their future, of course. Paul Lade. Gosh, I mean, Dean Lewis and Louis Capaldi. Louis Capaldi is a funny individual.
Louis Capaldi makes some good stuff.
Yeah, he does.
He's also pretty inspirational, too, if you look at his story.
Yeah.
Have you looked at his story much? Do you know what he's struggling with?
Yeah, so he has Tourette's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he's starting to struggle during some shows and stuff. But, like, again, it's just one of those things. Like, he pours everything into his music a lot of times. And
yeah.
It's another one of those that kids who are growing up now while he's popular that aren't really into him are going to be like you and me. Looking back and be like, yeah, that... Now that I think about it, that is stellar music.
Yeah.
Whereas we're lucky enough now to kind of enjoy it as an adult.
Yeah.
And
kind of catch it at the end
right,
where they caught it first.
Even though it's, it may be like popular with high school girls or something like that, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
Just understanding that, like, vocally, he's very, very talented too.
Mm-hmm.
And then to do that on top of Tourette's and like struggle with that openly and stuff, like that's really cool to see.
Yeah.
Not that he's struggling, but that he's fighting through
that
it.
he's fighting through it.
He's living, he's living his best life.
Right.
So
I watched him on Hot Wings.
yeah,
And that was when at first I thought maybe it was because the wings were getting hot.
yeah.
But then I thought to myself, wait a minute. I
Yeah.
had kind of seen this before.
Mhm.
I was like, I put two and two together. But dude, I mean, he handled it so well.
Yeah. Well, there's one video where he's really struggling during a show, and it's during the chorus of, I don't remember what song it is. I'm not gonna lie,
Mm-hmm.
but it's one of his more popular ones. But he starts struggling, and the crowd just kind of takes over,
Mm-hmm.
and they're singing it for him and getting him through it, and give him time to kind of step back from the mic and like
Yeah.
have his fit essentially.
Yeah.
And then he comes back in and stuff, but you can just see he's emotional and he's humble about it. He's appreciative and stuff, and those
Yeah. I felt that.
there was a lot of that
Yeah.
that we experienced as kids that I don't think we recognized.
Yeah.
Like even what is it? Teardrops in Heaven.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Right.
Some,
The
yeah,
Eric
I know what
Clapton
you-
song.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I love that song. That was one of
Right.
my favorites. I would wake up.
And that
92 Zoo.
yeah, and that was about him losing his boy.
Mm. What was his daughter?
His daughter or his son? I think it was his son.
Was it his son?
I think so.
Because I know
But-
what you're talking about. Because
Yeah.
you've even played that one before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was emotional. Obviously, connect with that on a different level. But,
Mhm.
like again, that's just one of those. Like, I mean, that's just raw emotion.
That's that.
That's all that was.
No,
What?
isn't that what that was?
Did you just have a stroke?
No.
What just happened?
I was talking about the rhythm of it. It's like the
If I
angels
saw you
close
in
their eyes.
heaven.
Oh yeah,
would
that
you
one.
know my name?
Yeah.
Right.
When you
Yeah.
I was thinking of the.
Stop. Just hum. That's so disturbing. Keep your mouth shut.
I can't.
You can.
I can say.
Oh,
I can
gosh.
feel the angels close their eyes. You know what I'm talking about.
I do, but that's live, I think. Yeah, that's live. Yeah, I think that's.
Yo, bro.
I think that's live.
Holler if you hear
Lightning
me.
crashes, maybe.
I can.
I got nothing, bro.
I'm Googling it.
I got
I'm
nothing.
Googling it.
Listen, we can't play it.
No, I'm not. I'm going to Google it.
I know, but you can't Google your hums, dude.
You can, actually.
Listen, I feel like we should wrap it up.
Okay.
We're getting close to time.
Lightning crashes.
That's what I said. I said it's live. Lightning crashes.
I thought he meant like live.
No, it's live. That's the name of the band,
I'm gonna
and it's
download it.
Lightning Crashes.
Okay.
I know the song.
I'm gonna
I
download
thought
it.
that's what you were going for, but then I think you missed the melody there when you tried to hum it the second time because it did not sound like that song.
I got this. Sorry.
All right. That's it for this week. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Sorry if it was a little disjointed. We, like I said, went and played some golf, had a good time, had a few drinks, had some good food, and just wanted to sit and have a good time. And then he, started irritating my soul per usual. But we got through it. So, as always, why don't you go ahead and roll us out?
Yo,
Put him on the spot.
8-4. I know that's when the Is a Human album was supposed to come out, but like I mentioned before, we're working on it. The finest unit is getting everything together, but nonetheless, it's going to be a well-anticipated project. I'm really excited for it. But nonetheless, out here on the porch, y'all, it's been incredible. It's been fun. It's been adventurous. It's been a very promising conversation. And look forward to episode 8. And Carl, boy, if you don't, I'm going to leave it at that. But just remember one thing. If anybody ever judges you on how you feel, just remember to always and never ever forget to just say how you feel.
You just gonna take my outro like that?
Didn't that sound smooth, though? Didn't that shit sound
Not
smooth,
as good
though?
as what I had cooking.
Okay, well,
I
go-
think about it the whole time, man.
All right.
Gosh, people. You see what I'm dealing with? Listen, if people ever tell you the way that you think is silly, just ask them why they're so serious. And remember, always say how you feel. Gosh, man. Ruined it. Just cut it.